Good morning, friends. Ted's here. We're going to read chapter 24 of Restart. Brendan Espinoza. Kimberly's gone. I don't mean she's dead or anything drastic like that. She hasn't even moved away. Just gone from my life. That's a little dramatic. That time in the music room when she cared enough to help me out of the tuba when I was too slick with fire extinguisher foam to get any traction, I really believed that I was starting to make some progress with her. But it turns out it was wishful thinking. In the end, she was just hanging around to be close to Chase. Dun, dun, dun. Now that he's kicked out, she's stopped coming to the meetings. From an artistic standpoint, that's probably a good thing. Now she's back supporting the football team since Chase is on it again. She even watches practice sitting in the stands, her homework binder propped open on her lap. It makes me sad because that's the same thing she did at video club. These days, the closest I ever get to her is when we happen to pass in the hall. And she looks like she's trying to remember where she knows me from. You'd think all that would make me really jealous of Chase. And it does, sort of. But the truth is, I probably miss Chase even more than I miss Kimberly. Video Club is useless without him. We might as well change the name of the club to Club because the creativity level in that room is basically zero. The others notice it too. It's pretty obvious when Miss Delia asks who's got footage to screen and nobody has squat. Even though our club is grinding to a halt, I have no sympathy for those guys. I can't get any of them to even consider the possibility that Chase might be innocent. Or maybe they're right, and I'm a moron. Chase didn't hesitate to lie about what happened in the music room and blame everything on the electrical cables. Whatever he did or didn't do to Joel and the one-man band, he was just as bad as his Neanderthal pals in that way. But he was our friend, and I refused to believe that he was faking that. He was a good club member too, maybe the best. He worked shoulder to shoulder with Shoshana on Warrior, which is the greatest thing that we've ever produced. She should have at least taken the time to listen to his side of the story, if there is such a thing. Anyway, she didn't, and neither did Hugo or Mauricia or Barton and even me. We were fine to benefit from his talent when he was with us, but we never really believed that he wasn't Chase Ambrose that we used to know. And the first time something went wrong, we dropped him like a hot potato. The whole thing depresses me to the point where I almost want to quit Video Club. But I'm the president. If I leave, it'll fall apart for sure. No, it's up to me to jumpstart my fellow videoites. Even though they don't deserve it, I'm going to make a video, any video, just to get our creative juices flowing again. Unfortunately, I have zero ideas. That's how blocked this Chase business has made everyone. So I take a walk up and down the street just for a change of scenery, and I see it. There's a big, fat slug that's been climbing the stucco side of our house for the past day and a half. He's not making a heck of a lot of progress. He's only a third of the way up after all that time, which means he's averaging, by my calculations, like 15 feet per week. But you have to admire the little guy's spirit. He's absolutely determined to get where he's going, which is the roof, I guess. I don't know what's up there for him. That's his problem, not mine. I decide to film his journey inch by inch up the side, defying gravity. I'll call it Slugfest, or maybe something lofty and inspirational like The Ascent. Then, in editing, I can add in commentary, like he's pushing for the summit of Everest, or maybe play-by-play from the Indy 500. That could be kind of funny. Sportscasters raving about the speed and acceleration and afterburners while he's millimetering it along. That's not a word, millimetering it. Anyway. Okay, it's no Leaf Man, but probably it'll get the video club going again. I take the flip cam out of my backpack. I always bring one home in case inspiration strikes, and I mount it on a tripod. That way I can shoot hours of video without having to cool my heels watching nothing really happen. Outside, I arranged the whole setup on our sidewalk with the camera pointing up so that the sluggo is dead center of in the frame. It's not as if he's going to zoom out of the picture anytime soon, not unless someone straps a little tiny booster rocket onto his backside or whatever slugs have back there. I press the record button and nothing happens. No pulsing green light to indicate filming. Weird. We recharge the camera batteries every day. I try again. Still nothing. That's when I notice the message flashing on the viewfinder. Memory full. That's impossible. Club rules say you have to download your footage onto a computer or a memory stick so we can wipe the camera for the next user. Miss DeLeo is a real tyrant about it. How did this one get missed? And if the memory's full, what's on it? Dun dun dun, it's a mystery. I press the play button. The first thing I hear out of the flip cam's tiny speaker is a high octane full orchestra rendition of excuse me, for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. Then I see myself in a dark suit and a bow tie on the band risers in front of the green screen. I'm in a chair with a clarinet in my hands, pretending to play along with the fast-paced music. As I watch, transfixed, clarinet Brendan disappears to be replaced in a jump cut by another version of myself sitting in the same chair a few feet away. This time I've got a violin and I'm fiddling like mad in furious time with the song. That goes on for a little while, and then just as suddenly I'm seated at a drum set at the highest riser, my arms just a blur. It hits me. This is one-man band. I must have started the camera in all the excitement, and I never switched it off. Come to think of it, I never turned the camera in that afternoon. Kimberly did it for me while I was in the bathroom trying to clean up my suit, which was hemorrhaging shoe polish all over the school. And Kimberly, being Kimberly, she didn't know the rule about wiping the memory. She just put the camera back on the shelf. Amazing. I thought one-man band was gone forever. And here it is on this flip cam, ready to be cut into my greatest video ever. Obviously, I won't be able to use the tuba part because that's when we got attacked and the whole shoot got busted up. After all, my band can't feature a tuba player who gets slimed with foam and trapped in his own instrument. But the rest of it, breathlessly, I fast forward. It's all okay. Better than okay. This could be my first YouTube video to hit it big time. Woo. I scan right to the end and it's all there. Aaron and Bear raiding the chute. Kimberly running out to get Chase. And finally the tug of war between him and Bear with the fire extinguisher. Even over the loud music, you can actually hear the whack when the heavy metal casing smashes Joel in the eye. I wince a little at that. No wonder half the poor guy's face is black and blue. That had to hurt. I bet it still does. Also, and this is important, no smoke, no fire. No reason to fill the room with foam. Not that I ever took that story seriously. Still, it's nice to see hard evidence. Evidence? Dun dun dun. I'm so wrapped up in reliving it that it takes seconds to realize that I'm looking at something monumentally important. All that craziness in the music room happened so fast that it was impossible to process it. But here's a visual record I can watch over and over to catch every detail. So I back up the clip to the moment Chase bursts into the scene and I run it in slow, super slow mode. He looks shocked. If he planned this, he has to be the greatest actor in the world. When Bear hands him the fire extinguisher, he takes it, but he just stands there holding it as if he has no idea what it is or why he has it. He never fires it or even holds it upright. It's like he's in a daze. Until Bear tries to grab the thing back. Then Chase wakes up, and the struggle is on to keep it away from Bear. And when he pulls it free, it swings back and it hits Joel. Pure accident. Maybe afterward he helped Aaron and Bear cover up what they did, but this video proves that Chase was trying to stop the attack, not join in. I'm practically bursting out of my skin with excitement. I want to run in 15 different directions to spread the word far and wide. Who should I tell first? Chase, Miss DeLeo, Dr. Fitzwallace? It's more than just about the video club, it's about justice. And don't forget Joel himself. He shouldn't be allowed to go on thinking that Chase still has it out for him. And Shoshana, she's a nice person and a great video it. But let's face it, right now, she'd burn Chase at the stake if she thought she could get away with it. She needs to know what really happened. All the videoites do. I frown. It's the weekend. None of us will be at school until Monday. This has to be done right. The school can wait, but the video club should see this footage. It's more than just evidence. It'll be nothing less than a demonstration of the power of a moving image to change hearts and minds. Who better than the president of the video club to make it happen? I take out my phone and I compose a text to Chase, Shoshana, and Joel. Urgent. Come to my house at 10 a.m. tomorrow. There's something important you have to see. P.S. I'm not trying to rope you into another YouTube video. After some agonizing soul searching, I send the same text to Kimberly, but I add a line that says, P.S. Chase is going to be there. Okay, I want to see her again. Sue me. Still likes her, even though there's no chance. Let's continue, because this next one is Chase. See what he remembers, or see how he reacts. There's something, chapter 25, Chase Ambrose. There's something important you have to see. I stare at Brendan's text on my phone. What's this big deal he needs to show me? Probably nothing. Chances are he really is just trying to rope me in to helping with a new YouTube video. Although he says that's not it. I don't care. The fact that he texts me at all is something. I haven't heard a peep from anyone of the video club kids since the day in the music room. Who can blame them? They all heard how I lied about the electrical fire. And they don't even know about the really bad thing I did. To be honest, I'd give anything to be a part of one of Brendan's goofball videos again. They're always hilarious, and I could use a good laugh right now. I can't remember the last time I laughed. Nothing has been funny lately, and the most unfunny part is what I just found out about myself. Yeah, Aaron and Bear are jerks. My dad's pushy. And the video club has turned on me, but I'm worse than all of them. I'm a criminal, and the fact that I don't remember it doesn't really change what I did. Do you remember what he did? Do you remember? Okay, I'll keep going. How could I do such a thing? It's a question that doesn't need answering. I didn't do it. The old me did it. Yeah, blame it on the old you. And it's no mystery that the old me was capable of some pretty awful stuff. I stole Mr. Solway's Medal of Honor from his room at Portland Street. One sleazy act of many, courtesy of Chase, Aaron, and Bear. I have no idea what I plan to do with it. Sell it, probably, and split the money with my two accomplices. But that little plan went sour when I stashed it somewhere and then went and got amnesia and couldn't remember my hiding place. No wonder Aaron and Bear are so suspicious of me. They thought I was holding out on them so I could keep the profit for myself. And the worst part is that I can't even give the medal back to Mr. Solway because I have absolutely no idea what I did with it, and I don't know how to find it. You can look in your room. Maybe it'll come back to me in bits and pieces like some of my past, but when? It could take years. What if Mr. Solway dies in the meantime? How will I ever make it right? It's funny, the idea of going back to Brendan's house stings, even though I've only been there once before, when I had the accident. I never longed for my old life because I couldn't remember it, but my new old life, the video club, and my new friends, losing that hurts a lot. Since this time I know what I'm missing, and it hurts twice as much because of how quick these guys were to turn against me. Maybe that means that we were never really friends. Even though I thought we were. My partnership with Shoshana felt that way for sure. When the two of us were working side by side, interviewing Mr. Solway and editing Warrior, I was positive that we were creating something amazing together. All the kids in the video club were finally starting to trust me, and even Joel was kind of warming up to me. Or so I thought. I must have been nuts. In the end, that's why I decided to go to Brendan's. If he's reaching out to me, that's a good thing. I leave the house and step into a beehive of activity. Boxes and furniture are scattered all over the lawn next door. 4 big guys are loading everything into a moving truck. That's right, the Tottenhams are moving today. Supposedly they're really nice neighbors who were great to Johnny and me growing up. Mama's sad that they're moving. I have no idea, of course. When you've got amnesia, it's hard enough to relearn the important people in your life. You tend to lose the crowd on the fringes. I'm cutting across the grass in the direction of Brendan's when 2 of the movers step out the front door carrying a large frame painting. I gasp, and for a second I forget to breathe. It's her. The little girl in the blue dress trimmed with white lace, my only memory that stuck with me through the accident. I think about the hours I spent agonizing over that image, where it came from, and whether might have hallucinated the whole thing. But no, here she is, the same red ribbon in her blonde hair. I see details that aren't in my memory, like she's standing in a garden surrounded by flowers, and there's a little watering can in her hand. I didn't imagine her at all. I remembered her from a painting in my neighbor's house. My cat is trying to attack my feet. He's crazy. He's very excited about this story. I run over to Mrs. Tottenham, who is wringing her hands over a carton marked super fragile. That painting, I exclaim, my voice is hoarse. Did you ever show it to me? Oh, hello, Chase, she chuckles. That's just a reproduction, of course. An original Renoir would be worth tens of millions of dollars. Yeah, okay, I say breathlessly, but why do I know it? Did I ever see it in your place? I don't think so, dear, she tells me. It was hanging in the upstairs solarium. I follow her pointing finger to the glassed-in sunroom on the 2nd floor of her house. So I didn't see it, but I did. How else could it be the only image to make the trip through my shattered memory? My eyes travel from the Tottenham home to ours next door. Could I have looked inside their solarium from one of our upstairs windows? No way. The entrance to our house is around the corner, facing away from theirs. Our dormer is in the front. That sunroom faces nothing but the chimney and some sloped shingles. The only way to see the painting from our place would be to climb on top of our roof and peer down into the huge glass window. And suddenly, I just know. I run back inside, tear up the stairs to my bedroom, and step out into the perch that was so part of much of my old life. I start to climb, my rubber-soled sneakers clinging to the roof shingles. He shouldn't be out there. The dormer, which houses my room, is beside me, but that leaves a sloped path about 3 feet wide leading straight to the top. As comfortable as I am on the section of roof right outside my window, that steep slog to the peak is another ball game. The grade is steep, and the higher I go, the clearer the image of exactly what must have happened over the summer becomes. And how far I must have fallen. The ground seems so distant that it should be another zip code. I'm amazed I didn't dash my brains out on the grass. I get on my hands and knees, and my ascent becomes a crawl. I feel a little more secure this way, especially as I near the apex, where I can use my right arm to cling to the dormer. I'm pretty scared, but I'm even more determined to get up there. For me to remember the little girl in blue, she must have been the last thing I saw before the accident. That makes sense since the roof is the only place I could have seen her from. I can't explain it, but I'm positive the key to what happened to me lies just a few feet ahead. I stretch out my arm, get a grip on the top of the A-frame, and haul myself up to gaze down at the Tottingham's house. There it is, the floor-to-ceiling windows of the sunroom. I can even make out the large faded rectangle on the wall where the picture must have hung. Okay, I think this is where I fell, or this is when I fell. But it still doesn't answer the big question. Why did I come up here? Was I spying on the Tottenhams in their sunroom? I was rotten enough, but why would I care what they're doing? Besides, according to Mom, we were friends. I could have just knocked on their door. Why bother to climb halfway to the moon? Frustration wells up in me, mingling with my disappointment. So the little girl in the blue dress tells me where I fell from, but that's it. As I inch my way back from the peak, I extend my right arm to steady myself against the cedar shakes on top of the dormer. No sense repeating my swan dive from the roof, although it's more than I deserve. I almost slip as one of the shakes pulls free. A terrified gasp escapes me as I slide a little before my descent with my feet. I hang on like a fly to a wall while the racing of my pulse returns to normal. That's when I catch a glimpse of blue behind the dull brown of the loose shake. There's something back there, wedged in the loose wood. I know what it is even before I reach for it. Boom, boom, boom. What's your prediction? What is it? What is it? What is it? It's got something blue. My hand closes on the silky blue ribbon, and as I draw it out, I feel the weight of the military decoration attached to it. The gold 5-pointed star catches briefly on some insulation, and there it is. Mr. Solway's Medal of Honor, stolen, hidden, forgotten, and discovered again. Then, as if finding the medal has unclogged a drain, the memory of my accident pours back into me. It starts at the apex of the roof with me gloating over the brilliance of my hiding place while peering down through the sunroom window at Mr. Tottingham next door. He is in the lotus position on the floor, performing awkward yoga in front of the painting of the girl in blue. That's what does me in. The hilarious sight of my overweight neighbor twisted in like a pretzel, looking like a giant mutant lemon in his skin-tight fluorescent yellow workout suit. I let go for just a second, reaching for my phone to get a picture of this one-man comedy routine. And the next thing I know, I'm skidding down the roof, the rectangular pattern of the shingles becoming a blur as I pick up speed. I claw madly at the slope, desperate for a handhold, a foothold, anything to stop my descent. It's no use. My momentum is too much and I'm falling. When I hit the eaves, I flip over a little, giving me a terrifying view of the yard as it screams up to meet me. I know, dizzying acceleration, and I brace for impact, but the memory ends there. I don't have to hit the ground a second time. So that's how it happened. The mishap that turned my entire life upside down and almost killed me.